There's a spider outside my window. There's a spider outside my window! Hey everyone, what's up? It's so good to see you guys for another week of Carly and Emily. It is just me this week, and I figured that for us to get to know each other a little bit better, and by us I mean me and you guys, I figured let's find out the best ways to de-stress. See, I've been having a very difficult week. A lot has been going on and I still have a lot to get done. And finals are slowly approaching, and by slowly I mean they're happening this week and I'm not having it. So, I don't know if you guys have finals coming up or if you have anything that's going on in your lives that are stressing you out so much. How about we take away that stress? So I've put together a couple of different little things. You can't see them, but I am pointing at some things that I have out here for you guys. And hopefully that'll help you guys become a little bit more relaxed and grounded. Let's get started. The first thing that I have is actually one of my favorite things to do when I'm just feeling really tired, a lot going on, but I just need a moment to relax. And that would be something warm. A nice warm drink, and hopefully a nice warm blanket, and just try and bring all that in and try and warm myself up and feel nice and cozy. Right now I have some hot chocolate with some fluff inside of it. I love fluff so much. And coming to the north, apparently they don't know what fluff is coming from the north. So they don't really know what fluff is down here, which makes me sad. But if you don't have fluff or you're not too sure what that is, one, go figure it out. Find fluff. It is delicious. It is the best thing on this earth. But if you don't have fluff, you can always put some marshmallows inside of it. Or if you're not really a hot chocolate type person, tea and coffee definitely work. The only reason I'm not a big fan of tea and coffee when I'm super stressed out is because it has caffeine, like high amounts of caffeine in it, and the hot chocolate that I have is actually a lower, there's caffeine inside of it, but not as much as coffee and tea would have. When I have caffeine, it stresses me out more and makes me shaky, and it doesn't focus me, but other people I know that it does focus them. So if that's better for you, totally go for a coffee or a tea. But just when you have that warm drink, just sit down, relax, let whatever needs to happen after. Just drink that warm drink, just focus on the drink itself. That sounds really dumb, but I promise if you're just focusing on one thing, it really helps. If you can't focus on that one thing, the best thing to do is write a list. It's a little to-do list I got it at Target in like the $1 section. And this is actually really helpful. As much as it may look stressful, writing down everything you have to do and then you're like, oh gosh, all those things I have to do in the day seems like a lot. But the best thing about it is there's little boxes next to it so you can just check it off or scratch it off. I love just scratching something off the list. It makes me feel really good, and you start to see things build up, especially if, say you have to, for one class, you have to read a book and write a paper on that book, and you also have to post something to the class's website. The best thing is to cut that down into little sections, and say you have to write 2 things on the website. Make those 2 separate things, and then the reading a separate thing, and then the paper a separate thing. So even though all of that is for one class, you see all those things, and it seems really difficult to do, but once you do each thing, you're realizing that you're cutting a lot off of your list, which is extremely helpful in de-stressing, especially if you are wanting to focus on just drinking your coffee or your hot chocolate or your tea or whatever your warm drink may be. When you have that list, you know, okay, I've done all of this and I can take a moment to myself and not worry about the list because you have it all planned out later. And also, if you're doing a warm moment to yourself, I like that, warm moment to yourself. Netflix or YouTube is usually one of my favorite things to just go to. I watch either Shameless on Netflix or a bunch of my favorite YouTubers and just sit with my drink and my blanket and just relax, but only cut myself down to either like one episode on Netflix or like 2 or 3 videos on YouTube, just to make sure that I'm not sitting there forever watching those items and those things. Because once you get used to it, you don't want to stop because you get really invested in it. Believe me, I've been there. But if you just use that to calm yourself down, it's really helpful to just kind of forget about your large to-do list. Once you've watched that video, you'll be kind of rested and ready to restart something else. One of my other favorite things to do, which I haven't really gotten to do a lot of lately, is color. I don't know if you guys, if you haven't seen those coloring books, you really need to check them out. My mother bought me some new ones, and this one is from Christmas, but there's some really cute stuff in here. I usually use colored pencils for these, and I really love how detailed it is without being too extravagant, so that way you can kind of concentrate and focus on just coloring. And it doesn't need to look pretty, it doesn't need to look real, it just is something to calm you down and make you feel more connected and happy. This one's also a really good one, is Calming Moments, and it has more bigger pictures, which I like. See, like similar to this. These I think are really helpful in just keeping you together. These look very similar. If you don't have these books and you don't have pencils and you don't really want to go out and look for those things, there's also a coloring book app that I found. The app is called Coloring Book. But what you normally do on this is just kind of tap on whichever category you want. There's different categories like new pictures, and then there's holidays, there's animals, there's shapes and such like that. There's popular stuff. So there's a bunch of different categories that they have. And you click on whatever category you want, and then you can slide through all the pictures, and you pick whatever picture you want to do, and then you get to pick from a bunch of different color palettes, and you can use multiple different color palettes in one picture. If coloring is not your thing, that's completely fine. There are also plenty of other ways to keep yourself de-stressed. My favorite things to do usually involve earth and becoming more grounded and becoming more in tune with nature and the world around us. This little jar right here, it is probably one of my favorite things. I actually found this at a church yard sale. It smells like eucalyptus and some essential oils, and I'm not too sure exactly what else because I can't pin my finger on it, but it is this little blue jar, and you can make these at home. You just need to look up what scents are going to help you. There are different types of scents that will help you de-stress, that will help you focus, that will help you sleep. Just throw those kinds of things in here, whether it be oils or actual leaves of those items. It gives you this moment to like breathe something else in, both physically, literally, and figuratively. Taking a breath is probably the best thing for you. We normally try and just move fast, go, 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 get things done. We want to move on to the next thing. But sometimes your brain can get overloaded, and by sometimes I mean a lot of the time. The best thing to save yourself from becoming so overloaded that you're mentally and physically exhausted is to breathe. If you just really try and think of things that'll ground you, that is what's going to de-stress you the most. Another thing that I do to de-stress is normally look at astrology. I like that kind of stuff because it makes sense. A lot of people are like, well, horoscopes are like all the same all the time. Yeah, if you look at newspapers and magazines and those little things online, they don't actually know anything about horoscopes. They don't really know too much about astrology. They may know the basics, but they don't really know everything about it. Honestly, if you start researching more about astrology and researching about yourself, you learn a lot. And it may not always fit with you, but that's fine. But sometimes it does, and that is probably the best thing for you, is to become more in tune with yourself. That is basically the main point of this video, is taking time for yourself. Yes, you have a lot to do in a short period of time, but you still deserve to be comfortable and happy. So if you have to give up something, it's okay. That's perfectly fine. You need to understand what is going to help you and what's going to just bring you down and stress you out even more. On that note, another really great thing is a nap or a shower. As long as you're not using that time to still think, once you're feeling clear and confident, you can head into a nice shower and let warm water hit your chest or hit your lower back, and just breathing in. This sounds so ridiculous, but believe me, it is probably one of the most helpful things that I've ever done, is just standing in a shower and letting the shower head just hit you right on the chest. Nice warm water. And it gives you a little bit more positivity and brightness into your life. Another one of my favorite things to do when I'm stressed is listen to a calming playlist. I actually have been constantly adding and deleting things off of this playlist so many times. And I call it Calm, Cool, and Collected. When it comes to calm songs, I like things that have an upbeat feel, but are not slow, but have a very calm vibe to it. But I like the music to be a little upbeat. So that's why Glass Animals is also a really good band to listen to, and their new album How to Be a Human Being is wonderful. I don't know how new that is. And I also have some songs from Melanie Martinez, but those are some of her The Voice performances, so like Toxic and Bulletproof. And I also have some things from Joel Vera and Cute Whore. And I actually have some stuff from Ashley Tisdale. One of them is Still Into You, but it's her cover of Still Into You with her husband, so it's really soft and really nice. I think the best thing is find songs and music, even if it's not anything with lyrics, just something, a beat, something that's going to just keep you calm. That's also really good to listen to while you're working on things, or even while you're trying to lay down and relax. Whatever it may be, a playlist is always something that can very well help. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like you learned a lot about who I am through this, because the ways I de-stress is very different, but it's also alternative things. They're simple ways, but it's alternative to what people normally say and what normally helps. But I'm so thankful that you guys watched, enjoyed yourself, hopefully, and hopefully found something that will help you. That's what I really want to get out of this, is something that'll help you specifically. If any of you guys have any ways that help you that you didn't find in this, please leave them down below. Let's all help each other and kind of figure out the best ways for each other to de-stress. We all need to be happy human beings walking around this earth and spreading light and happiness, but also not giving a single care, that's a good word, right? But not giving a single care to anyone around you who's trying to knock you down. Who gives a flying saucer pan? I'm really trying to think of some alternative words, but who gives a flying saucer pan of whatever he or she is doing? Who cares? They're not that important, and if they're hurting you or judging you, they're really not meant to be in your life. So I guess this was more of like advice / de-stressing video. Either way, I really loved doing this for you guys. It also helped me a little bit because, like I said, I've been having a really difficult week, and this kind of reminded me of all the things that de-stress me. I really hope that you guys learned something, enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a nice thumbs up. If you haven't joined our lovely little family, please do, and press the subscribe button if you want to see what we're doing each week, me and Emily. I will see you guys next week, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye. The spider's back.